All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up in just a moment. Here we come. Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, and Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for those of you who have tuned in to watch us here on another Saturday broadcast. As you can see, I'm working and broadcasting from my regular job, which is at Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln. They're located at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in the city of Morrow, Georgia. So, if you guys would like to get a car, you can see yours truly. That's right. You can come check me out. We're located, like I said, again, right in the middle of Clayton County. And the cool thing is that you can access all of our inventory 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. And again, if you see something you like, give me a call. Like I said, there's the information right there, allenvigilford.net for those of you who are watching. And we also want to welcome those of you who are watching on the replay. Those of you kind of tune in on demand because I'm not up Saturday morning. I'm kind of in the sleepy mode. No problem. We thank you very much for checking us out. And we also want to give a big shout out to those of you who are listening to us online or on the radio in your car on the legendary WIGO Pacesetter 1570 AM under the brand new ownership of the lovely Miss Sheila Brown. And we thank God for her. She rescued our station from the clutches of a corporate group about almost a year ago now, and she has come in and restored the station. It's beautiful how she's redone the whole thing, painted on the inside, new furniture on, excuse me, new furniture also on the inside, new state-of-the-art equipment, and a brand new fresh coat of paint on the outside of the building as well. So thank you, Miss Sheila Brown, for coming in and with her wonderful team at New Vision Media. And so we thank her and we thank you for listening to us here on the radio, whichever way you may be. Now, good news before I get into the broadcast, you can check us out. If you don't want to go to 1570 on a dial, we are modern. As we expected, we are 24/7 online at WIGO1570.com. You also can actually go on an app. That's right. If you guys have not heard of it, there's an app called TuneIn. It's a free app. Download it, please, onto your phone. You go ahead and put in WIGO in the search engine, and voila, you'll find us broadcasting to you right here and right now. And the cool thing is that we're not just a sports station. I do some sports, and we do have some other sports shows, but we primarily are gospel and old school R&B. So check us out as we come on Monday through. Actually, we're on 24/7, but definitely check us out Monday through Friday. We got great gospel music programming led by Ty Tribbett and the like in the morning. And then we have some good stuff in the afternoon with our own Kevin Buchanan with the Drive Time Traffic Jam. He does it from 3 to 6 every day. So check us out. And then, of course, check yours truly out. I'm a real minister. You can check me out on Wednesday mornings, 10:30 as I bring in a show called Clarion Call, where we discuss topics and line it up with the Word of God and try to give you some insight and inspiration for your day and hopefully for your week. So again, check us out. Just lock it onto WIGO 1570 AM, Pace Setter 1570 right here in Morrow, Georgia. All right, as you can expect, this is the weekend sports update. That's what we do on Saturday. All kinds of breaking news going on in sports because usually the weekend, lots goes on, and this weekend no different. So we have the Masters going on, we have the NBA playoffs going on, we have um, all kinds of great sports. We have Atlanta here, not Atlanta, but we have soccer now is in season. Atlanta United, a Atlanta United was a champion a few years back, so they're looking to try to get their feet back on the ground. The Masters, like I said, is always must see TV right down the road from here in Atlanta. Now, a lot of people say, "Well, Minister, why aren't you there?" Well, because I have a job. Number one, and number two, we just haven't been able to kind of get everything worked out. We hope and pray that we will get to the Masters sometime in the next year or two. We want to obviously see Tiger in his prime. We didn't get a chance to do that. But speaking of Tiger, he is trying to make the cut. In 25 appearances at the Masters, Tiger Woods has never missed a cut. So he is struggling to try to do that. He was 2 over in the first round of the Masters, and he is trying to get himself together so he can go ahead and not miss the cut. Because, like I said again, he's never done that in the history of him playing the Masters. Now, of course, the problem is Tiger Woods is not the Tiger Woods of old. He's had, sadly, not one, but two pretty severe car accidents where it has taken this body that was a physical specimen in his prime. This was a guy that really brought fitness and athleticism to the world of golf. Now is really I don't want to say a shell of himself, but even he admitted that he's not sure how many times you will see him again teeing up in the Masters on the real. Now, yeah, as you get older, they have honorary starters, and I'm sure that God spare his life, he will do that into his senior years. But he's even saying that right now, as he turns the corner into his late 40s, going on into his 50s, yeah, his body has taken too much pounding from just the rigors of being a world class athlete, number one, and of course, unfortunately, not one but two major accidents. That really is miraculous that he can even be out on the golf course in the condition that his body is in. So Tiger Woods hopefully will be able to make the cut and continue to be able to be out there at the Masters course. We got a dose of that in terms of what the Masters looks like from a fellow employee, and he said it was the equivalent of walking out into a home that where someone just installed a brand new green carpet. So yeah, Masters must see TV. Well, giving you an update right here. Speaking of must see TV, we're looking here. If you see me looking off the side here, I have a monitor up here that is on ESPN. ESPN is reporting right now, live from the Masters, that Tigers has just bogeyed the 18th hole, and he is in danger of missing the cut. So Tiger now has to wait in the clubhouse to see if he'll be able to play on the weekend. But as it stands right now, Tiger Woods could be on the outside looking in for the very first time in the history of him playing in the Masters. Tiger Woods in danger of missing the cut after bogeying on the 18th hole. So that's the update from the Masters. Tiger Woods in trouble after caught a bogey. And the sad thing is, it came right after 2 holes after he had a really nice birdie on 16. He actually hit the stick on 16. Of course, the roars of the crowd went up, and everybody was expecting for okay, Tiger's going to somehow find his way into the weekend. And the one thing about Tiger Woods is that you never can seem to count him out. So everybody at the Masters obviously hoping that he's able to make it for the weekend, especially those people that have the TV contract like CBS. Because the realities are that more people have eyeballs on the Masters when Tiger Woods is in it on the weekends than not. And there's no disrespect to the guys that have won in recent times. No disrespect to guys like Brooks Koepka, who is now on the top of the leaderboard. No disrespect to any of these younger guys, the young guns that are here, but because of Tiger's spectacular play, because of him elevating the entire game of golf. If you talk to players around the world, they will tell you that they have nothing but thanks and gratitude to Tiger Woods because he elevated the whole game, not just in terms of eyeballs only, but in terms of the money that streamed into the world of golf through the attention that Tiger Woods brought, diversifying the fan base, bringing in people that traditionally had no real connection or no desire to watch golf. He brought those people in. He brought in people of color. He brought in, I think, even to some degree, more women, and he certainly brought in more young people because, for a long time, golf was considered to be a sport that was really geared towards, old heads like me. guys that were corporate retired guys or guys that basically weren't athletic. But Tiger Woods has put all that to rest with his dazzling play over the last 20 plus years. And so he's been must see TV. And like I said again, he has elevated the purses for sure across the golf anywhere in the world. So again, everybody's hoping that Tiger will be able to hang around there for for the weekend. But right now it looks bad as he has carded a bogey on the 18th hole. So that's what's happening in the Masters. Again, you guys know what to do. You can check out ESPN.com. They have live updates. You also can go to Masters.com for live updates as well. They will keep you abreast of what's happening. The weather has been crazy out there. They actually had a situation where a tree fell. No, this is real. A tree fell on the 17th hole. Now, fortunately, nobody was hurt. But can you imagine that? You're out there and you got a tree that falls down. All right, let's go ahead and give you guys an update here on what it looks like again from the Masters. We have, as I mentioned to you earlier, Brooks Koepka is on top of the leaderboard at a minus 12. He is in I guess he's already finished out his second round. So he obviously will be the leader for the weekend unless something happens because Jean Rahm is still out on the course. He is on the 16th hole. And right now he is at a minus 10, just 2 shots behind. So clearly he can make a move. Bennett is right behind John Rahm at a minus 9. He is also on the course. He's having a great day today so far. He's turned the first 9. Oh, excuse me. He is in the clubhouse at a minus 4 for the day, minus 8 overall. And that's our top 3 right here from the Masters, giving you guys a little bit of update of what's cooking out there. Hey, listen, we're going to do this in just a moment. We're going to pop up on the screen a link so that you guys can be on the show. As you know, not only do I broadcast this show live on WIGO 1570, we also live stream it on YouTube. We also do it on Facebook, on Twitter, and also on Twitch. That's right. We're actually on Twitch as well. So you guys, if you want to jump in and chop it up with the minister, I'm going to put that link on social media in just a minute so you guys can kind of hang out and join with me. It's here in Atlanta, a rainy day. It's like that old song. There's a rainy night in Georgia. That's what it feels like right here. It's a rainy day in Georgia, but you can pop in and join us. I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. And now, for those of you who are saying, "Well, brother, we listening." Well, here's the good news. You can still do that. We want you to, go ahead and enjoy us. And if you want to call in, we will not be able to have that this week, but we do hope and pray that in the upcoming weeks, either we'll be back in the studio or we'll have a special phone line that you guys who are listening only can be able to call us up. But for those of you who are watching, and you say, I want to join into the broadcast. The link is now up on the screen. It's on social media. I have posted it. So you guys can kind of come on the screen, pop on in and join us. Now, here's the cool thing. If you say, man, it's too early on Saturday morning, if you're a woman, you say, I got curlers in my hair. If you're a dude, you say, bro, my hair is nappy. I haven't even brushed it or combed it. Okay, no worries. It's like Zoom. So you can go ahead and hit the button and turn your camera off and just go with your avatar, and hopefully your avatar looks good on Saturday, and you can be a part of the broadcast. And the cool thing is that people who are listening on WIGO will be able to hear you, even though they can't see you for now. So there's a link on the screen right there. It's on social media. Please, ma'am, please, sir, go ahead and join us right now. We would love to have you be a part of the broadcast. Now, here's how you do it. You go ahead and place the link into your phone and go right in. We prefer you kind of hold your phone horizontal. If you can't do that, that's all right. It's all good, especially if you're using your avatar. So that's how we do it. Now, here's another way how we do it. We make sure that we give a shout out and respect to those people who support our program. So if you want to find out more about the NBA playoffs, if you want to talk more about the Hawks and their ups and downs, and more of what's going on in the sports world, you got to keep it locked right here for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we will be back in just a moment. Please, ma'am, please, sir, don't go nowhere because we'll be back. All right, keep it locked right here for more of the Real Talk Sports Show as we talk sports on a rainy Sunday. Lord have mercy, I'm already thinking about Sunday. A rainy Saturday afternoon here in Atlanta. We'll be back again in just one moment.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678 304 8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
All right, we're back, guys, with the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, as we're broadcasting to you live from just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. You're probably saying, brother, where you at? Well, I'm actually at the place that you just saw on the commercial, just heard on the commercial, Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln. That's Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln. Why? Because not only are they one of our premier sponsors, but also they are my full-time employee. That's right. I am here as a commercial account representative here at the dealership. So if you need a vehicle for your business, or if you need something for your family, guess who you can call? You can call me. You can give me a call at the office, 678-364-3979, or you can reach me on the cell, 678-410-9833, and I'd love to assist you if you need a vehicle. Now, here's the cool thing. You can shop the dealership online 24/7 at allenvigilford.net. Okay, you can go in, you can do it in your jammies, whatever you want to do, it's all good. allenvigilford.net. We have a great assortment of new Fords, new Lincolns, because as you guys may or may not know, we had this terrible shortage of vehicles due to a chip crisis and supplier problems. But good news, we actually have some cars and trucks available here for you. So if you need something, give me a call. 678 364-3979 is the work number, or 678-410-9833, and I will give you a hand anything you need in the way of a vehicle. All right, so there's an old saying. The old saying is familiarity breeds contempt. Now, for those of you who have had relationships, you know that there's some truth to that. There is some truth to this idea that somehow the one that you kind of sometimes disrespect, and you don't really kind of show them the love, or you don't appreciate who they are and what they've done. And I got to tell you, for those of you who follow me on YouTube, last night I was kind of mad because I just left the game, and I saw the Hawks blow another game that they really should have won. Okay, and so I'll be honest with you, I was in my fandom feelings. I was feeling some kind of way, and I was mad, and I was mad at our star, the one and only Trey Young. I was feeling some kind of way about Trey Young. I was like, hey man, hey, you were responsible for us blowing another game. That's right. Last night the Hawks had about, I think it was a 7-point lead with about 2 minutes to go. Not only did they not did they blow the lead, but they ended up letting the game go into overtime and eventually losing the game 136 to 131 against the 76ers. Now, in most circumstances, you would say, well, brother, I mean, what's up with that? The 76ers are the number 3 ranked team in the East, and they're one of the top 5 teams in the NBA. And I would say, surely you're right. Surely you were absolutely right. That's true. Except they did not play a single starter last night. The 76ers, that's right, did not play a single starter. They had basically the equivalent of the backups in a G team. And the Hawks let them play as if they were playing the regular 76ers. It was just terrible. And for me, it's a symptom of what I have seen with the Hawks repeatedly, year after year. Um, I shouldn't say year after year. I'm sorry. Certainly for all of this season, the Hawks have done this repeatedly. They have broken our hearts and made us, get wrinkly and pull our hairs because of the fact that they continue to play well for 3 quarters and 10 minutes, or they'll play well for 3 quarters and 11 minutes. And then somehow mysteriously in those last couple of minutes, they find a way to lose these games. Now, like I said again, my first temptation is to blame it on our star, I'm gonna say one superstar, but kind of Trae Young. And I think it's because oftentimes the mishaps and the maladies come when he has control of the basketball. Now, the problem is that Trey is a stat machine. When I say stat machine, like last night, for example, not only did he have a double double, but he had a double double in a very extravagant way. He had 27 points and 20 assists. And that's the most assists by any Hawk guard since, ironically, the coach of the 76ers, Doc Rivers, who had 24 back when he was a point guard here with the Hawks back in the day. So on paper, you look at Trey Young, you say he hit 27 points, 20 assists. Wow. But if you at the game or if you watched the game, what you saw is that Trey had tremendous flashes of brilliance, but in critical situations, basically had a brain fart. For example, late in the game, he had a situation where Hawks had the ball. The game was tied. This was the last possession of the Hawks for the game. And Trey did what you're supposed to do as a point guard, dribble it down for the last shot. But instead of taking the last shot or passing to a teammate, he let the shot clock run out. And repeatedly during the game in key situations, he had turnovers. Now I know the turnovers happen, but in this particular case, I think he had a total of 8 turnovers for the game. I got to check this out. I'll check it out because I don't want to give you guys bad information. But he had a lot of turnovers. So to some degree, what does it matter if you have 20 assists if you're going to turn the ball over 8, 9, 10 times? I'm just saying, and especially turn the ball over in the times that he did, critical times. And now his backcourt mate, I ain't gonna let him go either. Now, DeJounte Murray, he had a big game himself. He had 19 points. I believe it was 6 or 7 assists. But at the end of the day, same thing. He makes a critical error in just the time you don't need it. And you said, what was that error? So the situation is that the Hawks had the lead and the ball. And he comes down. I think, I don't know if he let, more than 10 seconds run off the 24-second clock and takes a shot. See, the problem I have with the Hawks is they are an exciting team to watch, especially when they have energy and they're on their game. The in-game experience, NBA has ranked them, I think, number one all overall. If you go to the game, that's what I mean by in-game experience. If you're at Phillips Arena, excuse me, State Farm Arena, they have, a lot of local entertainers that come, a lot of outstanding artists, players from other teams come. There's energy, there's a vibe that you get when you go to State Farm Arena. And when the Hawks are playing well, it is to some degree must-see TV. They are a young team, and that when they play a open, fast break type of game, you'll see highlight reel plays from Trey, from John Collins, from DeJounte Murray. Now we have new budding superstars in Okongwu and in Jalen Johnson, AJ Griffin. So the Hawks have this youthful energy about them that when it is unleashed, can play with virtually any team in the NBA. The other thing the Hawks bring to the table is they have one of the deepest benches in the NBA. Hawks bench is almost like just this much below the starters of many teams. So they're one of the few teams that literally can play a 10-man rotation. And what that means by 10-man rotation is they can have 10 guys play and literally almost not miss a beat. Bogi Bogdanovic, another guy, a sharpshooter when he's on. A lot of great energy, Euro style of play, backs down from no one. So at the end of the day, I mean, the Hawks have this potential, but I guess what drives you crazy as a Hawks reporter and a Hawks watcher or fan is that this is a team that clearly, based on the record that you're seeing of teams in that top six, that could have been a top six team, could have really been a top 14. That's what we really were projected for at the beginning of the season. But at the end of the day, what we see with this team is the constant faux pas that pop up as either A, they are not concentrating and staying focused during critical situations, or like we had in the first half, the first quarter really of the game against the Sixers, you're playing against all backups. The Hawks had their starters in, and they played with a lack of passion or energy. And if I had to say the one thing that really is holding this team back is from the starters, the consistent application of intensity and energy is not there. okay, operative word here, and I'm not throwing shade on anybody. Listen to what I'm saying here. I'm saying the consistent application of intensity and energy is not there from the starters, especially now from the backups, and probably because they know, hey, we're not getting as much time as the starters. A lot of energy, mad energy. You can see it if you're watching the game, and you can feel it if you're there. The backup players comes in like a Kangru, like Jalen Johnson, like Sadiq Bey, one of the better acquisitions the Hawks have made in terms of trades. These guys bring it. And they come in and they are, and the other cool thing is, even if they stay in the game against the starters, they're afraid of no one. They'll bring it right to you. So now, what's the problem with the Hawks? One of the problems is our superstar. Again, like it or not, his numbers speak for themselves. He is amongst the NBA leaders. Matter of fact, he's second in the NBA in assists, and he's in the top 10 in scoring. He's number 10 overall in scoring. So you 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 getting your money's worth as far as the numbers. And we know that just a scant 2 years ago, he had an epic playoff run where the underdog Hawks fought and clawed their way to the NBA Eastern Division Finals. And had it not been for injury to our superstar, with Trey Young, and some other minor injuries to some of our other players, who knows? But unfortunately, the team has went backwards since that point. Now, some of that is, you know, people being people. A guy they brought in who was a key factor in that run, and who seemed like he was going to be a key factor and a key hawk for years to come. A guy that was acquired in the trade of the decade, where Trey Young was basically traded for Luka Doncic for the Dallas Mavericks, another rising superstar. Everybody felt that, hey, the Hawks got the better end of the deal because Cam Reddish was a lottery type player in most people's eyes, and played like that, especially in that magical run to the playoffs. Unfortunately, Mr. Cam Reddish evidently had some head problems. He became a teammate that was persona non grata. So the Hawks let him go. And he's evidently carried that with him because he's now on his third team. The bottom line is that Hawks team that excited us so much to lead us believe that they were maybe one or two players away from the championship took a big step back the year afterwards. And then in the offseason made some trades where they brought in DeJounte Murray, another budding, upcoming young superstar. We thought, okay, if we pair him up with Trey, and we'll be able to be good to go. Well, not so much. Now, DeJounte Murray has been as advertised. He's come in here and been a stalwart defensively, especially. He's one of the leaders in the NBA in steals, and he got that dog in him. So we don't want to take away from that. But for some reason, this team, the starters especially, again, don't seem to have that, again, consistent application of intensity and energy that you need to be a top tier team at any professional sport, not just the NBA, any professional sport. You as a starter, you got to bring it every night. Everybody else is a professional here. So this is not something where you can just come out and, just kind of lottie down the court, because the other guys, even though they might have a terrible record, they are still pros and they want to win. So, I mean, I guess my question is what is it going to take for this Hawk team to finally, get to the point where they can give you the same energy. And again, obviously you can't do it over, you can't play at up tempo, high tempo, full throttle for the full 48 minutes, but at least when the stars are out there for whatever 30 minutes they're out there, 35 minutes, can we see that thread of energy, excitement, intensity? Hey, I want to be out here. Hey, I'm going to dive for loose balls. Hey, I'm going to scrap. Hey, I'm going to make that extra pass. Hey, I'm going to look for my teammates. I'm going to whip that ball around. Ball movement. If the Hawks can do that, I think they can. I don't know, maybe this year, but certainly in upcoming years, they can really be a championship level team. Once again, the old sentiment, familiarity breeds contempt. So right now, again, it falls back on the shoulders of our happy young leader, Mr. Trey Young, who's a low-key guy, which is no problem. That's his thing. I get it. But he's going to have to find some way to do two things. Number one, give us some energy across the board, not just in crying about fouls, because he does a lot of intensity there when he's talking about he's been fouled or he's unhappy with the referees. But more than that, to be able to give us a mindset of understanding the situation on the court at that particular time. Um, as the coach mentioned, Quinn Snyder and as other people talked about in other sports, situational awareness. In other words, understanding that if you have the ball and the lead late in the game, a three-pointer from the logo is probably not a good idea. If you have a lead and the ball late in the game, a hurried shot or a quick three-pointer is probably not the best idea. I'm not talking about Trae Young particularly. I'm talking about the whole team does this. You get the ball and you shoot. Now, players have said, "Oh, coach wants us to shoot more three-pointers." I'm sure he does. But again, hashtag situational awareness, knowing when that three-pointer should be launched or not. It makes a big difference in the outcome of the game. But bottom line is, and maybe this is why they weren't so excited like we were, the Hawks are in the playoffs. They are right now undisputed the number 8 seed. So that means that on Tuesday they will head out to Miami to play their nemesis, the Miami Heat, a team that they have had all types of problems dealing with. And one of the reasons why is because the Miami Heat, better than any team in the NBA, has found a way to defend and get into the head of our young superstar, Trae Young. And so normally when he plays against the Miami Heat, he has a bad game. But the good news is it's a one-game playoff, one-game play-in game. Hawks are in. If they can pull off the upset in Miami, good news, they are automatically advanced into the next round of the playoffs, which unfortunately will have to play another nemesis, the Boston Celtics. But breaking about the Boston Celtics, one of their stars, Jaylen Brown, had a freak accident. Somehow or another, he broke a vase, and when he picked it up, the vase has sliced his hand and required not one, but 5 stitches. Now, I'm trying to figure out what kind of vase that you might have that when you just trying to simply pick it up, that you would slice your hand so bad it require 5 stitches. I'm just saying. Now, I don't know, but it sounds a little odd. But nevertheless, we don't care about that. The bottom line is the Hawks are in the playoffs, and like I said again, they have to take care of business. This is a play-in round. This is not the actual playoffs. So here's the thing: if the Hawks mess around and lose to Miami, what happens is they would now have to wait to play the winner of the 9-10 play-in game. And then if they were to win that game, they would go on to play a team that, even though this is the number 1 team in the NBA record-wise, the Hawks actually play very well. For some reason, match up very well, and that's against the Milwaukee Bucks. So I'm not quite sure whether it's good for the Hawks to win this game against Miami and be a 7th seed or win an 8th seed. I really don't know. But I do know that they're going to have to win at least one game to get in to the playoffs. One more game in the play-in to get to the playoffs. And then, from there, look, here's the bottom line. Once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. Record 0-0 then. So it could be on and popping. Speaking of on and popping, we have to take a little bit of a break so you can see what's on and popping with our advertisers. And right now, our main advertisers, them folks where I'm at right now, Allen Visual Ford, and you may not know something about them, but you'll find out about it in just a moment. Keep it locked right here for more. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment.
Did you know that Allen Visual Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the visual touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvisuallincoln.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
Hey, welcome back to the Real Talk Sports Show. Again, I'm your host and minister, Jonathan Simmons. And we want to give a big shout out to those of you who have just tuned in. Maybe you are watching us on the replay on demand. Hey, thumbs up to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And also, you might be just tuning in on your TV. What? That's right. We're on TV. We are right now broadcasting live on Roku. And you say, how you doing that? I'm doing that through my good buddy, Mr. Gary Booker. He has a channel called Phoenix Entertainment Group. And so if you go on to Tiki Live, well, it's a three-step process. You have to go on to Roku first, look for Tiki Live. And when you go into Tiki Live, put in the search engine, Phoenix Entertainment Group. And you're saying, brother, you're making me do too much. That's okay. You want to see me on the big screen. I'm just helping you out. That's how you do it. And once you get into Tiki Live, put in Phoenix Entertainment Group in their search channel and hit that. And you'll see me. That's right. You'll see me on the screen, on the big screen, 40-inch, 52-inch, whatever you have here. Hopefully it doesn't, pixel me out. But anyway, we're on the Roku channel. And so what does that mean to you who are watching? Well, some of you are watching me. You have your own business. And good news, you can join the folks at Allen Vigil Ford and advertise on our program. That's right. You certainly can. So here's how I'm going to have you do it. I'll tell you and I'll let you view it as well for those of you who are watching. You can hit me up at one of the following ways. Number one, you hit me up on the cell, 678-410-9833. You can see it right down there. There it is. Okay, right there. Or on the email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net. You see it right there. Hit me up. We have very reasonable, did I say very reasonable? Very reasonable advertising rates. We would love to have you join us and be a part of our broadcast. And like I said, again, it gets the word out. We got literally thousands of people that follow us on social media. If you combine all the platforms, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter, we have probably an aggregate of over 20,000 followers and folks that check us out or connect with us. So again, we know that some folks are out there watching and listening, and it could be a chance for them to find out more about you or your program or your business. So there it is right there. Call me, 678-410-9833. Or if you're new school, hey, just text me, 678-410-9833. Or you send me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net. So let me make this plain. It's JSIMMONS, not J like the Jaybird. It's JSIMMONS@realtalksports.net. And like I said, again, our rates are just very, very reasonable. And here's the other cool thing. We actually, because we're on WIGO 1570, we can provide you with great rates to be on WIGO anytime with your advertisement. How about that? And now you're talking about a station that reaches a 30-mile radius of Metro Atlanta, the ninth largest metro area in the nation. How about that? So again, hit me up, jsimmons@realtalksports.net or 678-410-9833. Okay, other thing going on right now in the world of sports, it is Major League Baseball opening day weekend is here. So for you baseball fans, you already know it is a big deal that baseball is back. And baseball's back with some new rules. Okay, first of all, they have larger bases. I think they're 16 inches now. Bottom line, they're bigger, substantially bigger than they were before. When I looked at the all the photos and videos, it looks like about 20% bigger than what they were before. So the bases are bigger. Now you say, well, what difference does that make? Well, think about this. If you're sliding into a base and the base is large, then guess what? Most likely your foot will hit that base maybe a little bit quicker than the tag comes down your foot. So that means more opportunity for people to steal bases. Number two, and this is probably the biggest rule, is that baseball wants to speed up the game. So here's what they did. They said, pitchers, you on a pitch clock. That's right. Pitchers now have only a certain amount of time to get themselves on the mound, go to the cap, go to the vest, go to the belt, whatever they're trying to do, rub the baseball, and throw the pitch to the batter. If in fact they go over that time, a ball is automatically called. You say that's not fair. Well, wait, there's more. For the batter, same thing. You remember how you guys used to watch where certain players, like I remember back in the day, I'm going way back now, guys like Nomar Garciaparra played shortstop for the Boston Red Sox, one of the outstanding shortstops of his era. And several other guys over the years have done this where they make a gazillion adjustments to their batting glove, their uniform. They're in the box twisting and adjusting. No more of that. The batters are on account. And guess what? If the batters take too long to get in the box and get ready to hit a pitch, an automatic strike is now called on the batter. And so what does that mean? So that means it bounces out the scales, that the batter has to be ready and the pitcher has to be ready to go. But as you know, in most sports, it's all about offense and scoring. So baseball's added another rule. You can no longer put a shift out on defense. Now, when you say, what's a shift? Shift means where if a player, let's say a right-hand player has a tendency to what they call pull the ball. That means that he would swing and the ball would go naturally to his left, which would be towards the shortstop or third base side. Well, players that were known to hit the ball very hard in that direction, other teams, when they defended them, would actually stack multiple players over in that direction in what they call a shift. So that literally you would have the second baseman, instead of in his normal position between second base and first base, he'd be all the way over almost near the shortstop. And the center fielder, who instead of being, just dead center field, would be shifted over more towards the left fielder, because their assumption was, and rightfully so, because the numbers showed it, that this hitter had a tendency to, quote unquote, pull the ball in that direction. And of course, if the batter was left-handed, you just flip it around. Everything would be towards the right. And that's out. You can't do a shift anymore in baseball. So now the batters have that unbelievable ability now to hit the ball anywhere they choose. So if they're a pull hitter and that's where most of their hits go, you can't stack up fielders over there. You're on your own. So the hope is that baseball will be more exciting and you'll have a lot more runs scored. The bottom line is that it should be good for all, especially the shifting. The shifting, I really never liked that. Now, the pitch clock and the batter clock, I don't know. But the bottom line is they are here and they'll probably be here to stay, just like the designated hitter is here. Now, let's get some updates. The Atlanta Braves came out of the chute red hot. The Braves have started off. They've now played. Let me get my glasses on so I can check my readers. I'm going once again to ESPN.com. And the Bravos have started out winning 6 of their first 8 games. They did lose their first game at home. It was last night to San Diego Padres, a team that many people think that will be, along with the Braves, one of the top teams in Major League Baseball. The Padres are here visiting the Bravos, and they actually got up to a 3-0 lead in the third period before the Braves struck back, tied the game in the third. And both teams struck for a single one in the fifth, leaving the score at 4-4. And then finally, the Padres broke out in the top of the sixth, scoring what proved to be the game-winning run, and they held on to a 5-4 victory on the road. Now, I will tell you that in watching the Braves in these first 8 games, they are 6-2. They look like an offensive juggernaut. This is a team that when you look at them, it really, you say to yourself, how on earth are we going to get any of these guys out? Because their lineup is stacked. I mean, if you look at this team, it is really no weak holes. And you can say, at least for the top 4 of the Padres, probably the same thing. But let me let you guys listen to this lineup here. Okay, so first of all, you have a healthy Ronald Acuna who is back. Now, this guy, before he got injured, was considered to be one of the best players in Major League Baseball. What they call a 5-2 player. So that means he was great defensively. He could throw well from the outfield. He had speed, which meant he could run, steal bases, not hit for average, and hit for power. 5 tools. He could do it all. And so he looks like that he is fully recovered from his injury thus far this year, because he's putting up some nice numbers. He has been a offensive force in every game. Matter of fact, even last night he stole a base and scored 2 runs for the Braves in their loss. After that, you got the big thumper at first base, the guy that took over from a Brave legend, Matt Olson, brought in trade here from the from the Oakland Athletics. taking over for Freddie Freeman, who again was a longtime Braves legend, a guy who's one of the best players in Major League Baseball and a future Hall of Famer. Freddie's out in Los Angeles. Matt Olson batting second behind Ronald Acuna, a guy that is a 3,100 guy. What I mean by 3,100, 30 homers, 100 runs batted in, no problem. Last night, big night for him. 3 RBIs. Austin Riley, a guy who many people had in an MVP consideration. Batting third, Ozzie Albies, the guy who knocked in 100 runs, playing second base, is right behind him in the cleanup spot. Number 5, Sean Murphy, a guy that, again, the Braves astutely had brought over here in trade, one of the best hitting catchers around. Eddie Rosario, one of the heroes from the World Series team from 2 years ago. A surprise, Orlando Arcia, playing shortstop. A lot of people thought that once Dansby Swanson left in free agency, that they were going to use one of their young guns that would come up, Marquise Grissom, but no. Orlando Arcia has been a pleasant surprise. Marcell Ozuna, a guy who unfortunately has had a little bit of trouble with some domestic violence. His wife actually is kind of a brawler. But anyway, long story short, Ozuna is a guy that can hit the ball a long way. He is at their DH spot. And Sam Hilliard, a guy who is not as well known, playing in center field, probably giving some rest to Michael Harris, last year's Rookie of the Year. So this Braves team is stacked. They are just stacked and ready to go. And they have some pitchers that over time, I think, are really going to pop up. Now, last night, they had none of the big guns out. But like I said, again, offensively, this Braves team is nothing to sneeze at. So look for them to do what they did last year, to make a strong run again to the playoffs. They have won the Eastern Division, I think, 5 straight years in a row. So the Braves are going to be a force to reckon with this year. I think the only question is, are they going to win 100 games? Yeah, I had somebody on the hook. They said they're going to go 103 games. I mean, I think that'll be kind of a little bit much. But at the end of the day, Braves look to be a stalwart team. And also, again, as I mentioned, look for the Padres to make some noise over in the West. They have, again, another great lineup like the Braves have, especially in the middle of that lineup. You got Juan Soto, who they brought over here from the Washington Nationals, one of the best young players also in Major League Baseball. Manny Machado, another great player. Nelson Cruz. All these guys are must-see TV as far as their ability to hit for average and hit for power. So in the middle of that Padres lineup, those 3 guys I just mentioned, Soto, Machado, and Cruz, about as good as it gets. So again, it should be, if you're a baseball fan, and especially if you're a baseball fan in the National League, man, you got it going on. And especially if you're in the West, you got the Padres, you got the Dodgers, some really top quality teams. And same thing to some degree in the East. Phillies, Mets, Braves, all going to make some noise. Cardinals, always a perennial contender. Cubs might make some noise with Dansby Swanson being added to their lineup. So, yeah, it should be great fun for baseball, Major League Baseball this year. And I'm sure all you guys who are baseball fans are going to be locked on with all the new rules, because you're going to have a lot more scoring this year. The new rules, a lot more scoring. So expect to see more of what everybody likes, baseball with some offense. The big fly, the home runs, I think, are going to be up this year. Extra base hits, I think, will be up this year because of no shift. I think you're going to see a lot more guys hitting in the gap. You're going to see a lot more doubles. You're going to see a lot more breathtaking plays on base, where guys going from first to third, guys scoring from first on a long single, which Ronald Acuna did so well the other night for the Braves. I think you're going to see a lot of that kind of stuff here as baseball now is opened up to try to give you a lot more offense that people can watch and enjoy. So if you're a baseball fan, like I said, again, this should be must-see TV for you. Speaking of must-see TV, we're going to take our last break. We got one more, but we still got a few little things to talk about here and wrap it up on our weekend sports update on the Real Talk Sports Show. We broadcast to you live from Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We'll be back with more sports talk in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Thank you so much.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
Hey, sports fans,
Tune in for live high school football Friday, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at allenvigilford.net.
This is your time to get what you want. Go work that thing with Work That Thing supplements.
All right, that was a little bit from Tyrone Poole. He is one of our co-hosts on our Tuesday night show. You can check him out when we come on every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. We're on social media, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and again on Roku TV. And our lovely Miss Tree Dolman is also there. I'm going to let you guys take a peek and listen to her as she covered one of the Hawk games for us. And she was pretty cool. She had a prediction before the game. Let's listen to what she had.
Hey, this is your girl Tree with Real Talk Sports. Right now we are warming up and getting ready for the Hawks game. They're playing the Dallas Mavericks. Tonight, of course, is another must-win. And so you see the team behind me warming up, but we really need this game. So they're out here getting ready, and I think that the Hawks are going to pull it off. So we'll see. I'll come back and check in later. Have a good game.
And she was absolutely right. The Hawks did win that game against the Dallas Mavericks. And speaking of the Mavericks, one last thing about the NBA playoffs. The Mavericks, with two of the best players in the NBA, with both Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, who, like Trae Young, has been one of the top stars, young stars in the NBA over the last 5 years, they ain't going nowhere. Last night, they lost, which officially eliminated them from any chance even to get into the play-in game. And there's a video been going around showing Mark Cuban, who is the owner of the Mavericks, just like almost inconsolable, like, what the what? But anyway, just wanted to kind of show you guys that again. If you want more great sports talk, check us out. We are on every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. on these same stations that you guys are locked into right now, which again is on social media primarily because we do the video. So again, check us out on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We're right there. And there's me and the crew. And we talked about March Madness and the Falcons and so forth. But there it is, Tyrone Poole on the far left or right, depending on which way you're watching. Yours truly with the shades on in the middle, and Miss Tree Dolman on the outside. And for those of you who are watching on WIGO or listening on WIGO, I wanted to give you a audible description of our crew. Tyrone Poole, 51 years old. The guy looks like he's 31 years old and can play in the NFL right now. He played in the league for 13 years and had a 5-year stint with the Patriots where he was part of that legendary run that they had from 2001 to 2005. Won 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. And Tyrone was a starting quarterback, one of the starting quarterbacks on that team. So he brings his acumen, and sometimes he's a little sharp tongue. As he keeps it real for us on the Real Talk Sports Show. And as you saw, the lovely, for those of you who are watching, the lovely Miss Tree Dolman. We simply call her the Queen. Her real name is Latrice Dolman. She is a former college athlete, college coach, and a beauty queen. She has the unique distinction of being the only woman to hold the crown of Ms. America International for 2 consecutive years. And she also is 6'2" in her bare feet. Now, you guys won't be able to see that too much or hear that, obviously, but just try to give you a breakdown of what you can check out on Tuesday. And then please, folks, please, as we wrap this baby up, follow us on social media. Not me only, but the show. Follow the show at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. You can check us out there. We're on all social media platforms. You also can follow me personally at Minister J Sims, as Minister, the letter J SIMM. You can follow me there as well. We'd love to have you, especially on our Instagram page. on Facebook. We always are giving you like updates. I do a pregame from the Hawks, usually halftime, and oftentimes show you some clips from the night before in terms of the coaches and so forth and so on. Oh, one other thing too, please follow us on YouTube. On YouTube, we're Real Talk Sports 7. Okay, so please follow us there. I mean, excuse me, on YouTube, we're Real Talk Sports TV, Real Talk Sports TV for us on YouTube. Check us out there, and please not only follow us on social media, but subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we're a little short without you. We're at 637, I think it is now. So every subscriber helps. And pass the word, let people know. Last but not least, before we wrap this up, I want to give a big shout out to my home state of Connecticut, because first of all, the women, although we know that the women's basketball team normally wins championships, they did once again go deep into the Final Four, getting to the Elite Eight. But I want to give a shout out to the men. Let's hear it for the boys. UConn men have won their 5th NCAA championship in the last 25 years. So that makes them up there with the big boys like Duke and North Carolina. All you guys think of the Blue Bloods. Well, UConn's won more national titles than any of those teams over the last 25 years. So big shout out to the UConn men. Dominant performance. Every single win in their 6-game run to the title was by 10 points or more. Absolutely dominant, and winning the final by 15. I think it was 16 points over the very game team from San Diego State. But UConn men pulled out. And one last shout out, in the world of hockey, which we don't talk about too much here, they have something called the Frozen Four. Little Quinnipiac College. Quinnipiac is a private school in New Haven, Connecticut. They have once again reached the Frozen Four, and they're in the Frozen Four championship game. So big shout out to my home state, little tiny Connecticut, making some big news in the way of sports. All right, guys, speaking of big news is we got to go now. All right. Thank you so much again for watching the broadcast, for tuning in to the Real Talk Sports Show. Remember, you can also check us out on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter TV, however you want to follow us. Check us out right there. Again, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. We'd love to have you be a part of the broadcast. What we don't want you to do, though, is go away without 2 things. Number one, keep it locked right here to the legendary WIGO 1570 Pace Setter, 1570 a.m. here in Atlanta, if you're in the area. Please tune in there. Remember, you can also find them on the app. And last but not least, I'm a real minister, so I'm going to encourage you with all this stuff going on today, man. Seriously, if you don't know Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, please, man, please, sir, get to know him today. Okay, nobody loves you like Jesus. Nobody died for your sins. And here's the cool thing: if you believe that, repent of your sins, something great happens. You become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven and an adopted child of God. That means that if and when you die, you avoid that nasty place called heaven. I mean, a nasty place called hell, and go to that wonderful place called heaven. I don't know about you, but I like that option real good. All right, remember, guys, we will be back here, good Lord willing, same time, same channel for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Remember, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. or right here on legendary WIGO, pace at 1570 a.m. Until the next time, we see you again. God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day. So long.